Hello and welcome. I'm the Autistic Modeler. Today we're on location here. My good friend Greg at his resin casting shop. Some cool stuff behind me. We're going to go ahead and see how we can make this van body, cast it. So stick with me. I'll show you what to do. The Autistic Modeler is excited to be involved with Auto Modelers Magazine. Get all the new tips and tricks along with kit reviews and show coverage. Be sure to pick up yours today. Okay, now we got the body all filled with clay, packed in there. We'll trim it up, clean it up, and then we'll move on to the next step.
Now I'm going to show you how I do letters. And you're left-handed and I'm over here and you're over there, but I'm going to try.
It's all right.
So if I were over there, this would be facing away from me. And I would take a strip of tape and I would put it there. And then I would take another strip of tape and I would set it on top of this. And I press that down. I picked out some letters we are going to create. So I'm going to do 73. And then we're going to do the word Chevy Van. Yeah, for posterity's sake, we'll do the date. I kind of like to do the date. You're going to take these and you're going to move them down. Then you're going to put a little strip of
We're going to
super glue on them. And then you're going to stick them back on there as best you can. close this valve. This is the air inlet valve. And then this is the air exit valve. And I put these air compressor things on so it isn't loud. It's not very loud.
Okay.
Another thing about these pressure pots is when you put 70 psi in them, the bottom will bulge out.
Yeah. Okay, we're opening her up. There it is.
Yeah, here we go.
Okay.
Oh boy, let's see what we got. Oh, let's see. There's the front. Here it comes.
We'll take that
Here comes the cord.
lock out.
Well, you know what? I'm going to leave it in because I want to. So again, I get it loose like that. And then I take my fingers and I push in with my fingers and take my thumbs and pull around it.
Okay. There we go.
Ooh, it kind of stretched it on this. We're still a little.
A little soft tip.
Yeah, it's still a little soft there.
Just a little wobbly.
Wow, look at that.
Look at that. Pretty good. Get that out of there.
I think I sprayed this too.
I thought you did. It's tough. Oh, there it goes.
Yeah, it's pretty tight.
There we go.
Okay, there's that. And then you can break this. Well, it's still a little soft. so I pressure cast with these. These are stovetop pressure cookers, but I take them and I seal off. I've been sealing off this little port as a vent, and then then there's a center thing that sticks up that a jiggler thing goes on. I should have brought one over. That's a 1/8 inch pipe thread. So then you're going to need a 1/8 by 1/4 inch bushing, and then the rest of this is 1/4 inch. So you have an IM fitting, and then I buy these regulators from Home Depot. I could get one that's still in the package. Maybe you want to show it?
Oh, that's fine. No, I think they can get that.
Okay.
Yeah.
So you think they can see?
Yeah, they can see it.
See this? So this is your inlet pressure, and you want to regulate it. You don't want it to be over 70 psi. I typically pressure cast at 70 psi. So out here would be the connector, and then there's a valve that I have just for my convenience. And then this is a valve that you would turn this on, and you would turn this off, and this allows the pressure to build up in the pot, and this gauge tells you what the pressure is inside of the pressure pot. So now you're pressure casting resin, a silicone mold, like I guess like this. It's like any typical silicone mold. And then this is for an air compressor, but I put these on all of them because when the air escapes out of here, it's pretty loud.
Like
so it's just, it's just a kind of a luxury convenience thing. Now, not all pressure pots are the same. This is the brand that I found that works really well. And the reason it works well is because of the way this pot seals. There really isn't a whole lot of gasket to this, but it will hold the pressure. And the 6-quart, if you're going to start, the 6-quart is the one you want because it'll do pretty much most body molds and most any other small parts that you have. But I just want to say that this is quite dangerous, and I am not liable for anything you were doing.
Yeah.
So don't be a dummy and don't overpressurize it and blow it up, and
don't get hurt. Take precautions.
Don't get hurt and be patient.
Yes, take your time.
So, but now I'm doing this isn't the one. So I'm revamping them. So I want to show you what I'm doing.
Updated design, possibly?
This is an updated design. So now I've removed this part, and this vent is gone, and so I have this tube of silicone, but you can take a 1/4 inch pipe tap and then run this down, and it's a little on the jiggly side. Uh-oh, now I can't get the darn thing out. There we go. But anyway, there's these are manually adjustable air pressure regulators. These are safety pop-off valves. And you can see that there's 10, 30, 50, 70, and 100. So you're going to want to go get your pot around 70 and then adjust this down to where it doesn't leak anymore. And this will screw in. Hand me that one over there.
This one?
Okay. So I think this is. This one's done. And then I bought these, they're pipe flanges. So I took this pipe flange and I screwed this in till it started in this, and then I've taken silicone and put around it so that it seals better. This one can still, I think pretty much, maybe I've got
that won't pull through.
Yeah, it won't pull through at all. But I've still got to put pipe thread tape on it and then tighten it down better. You can use a wrench on the outside and then like maybe a pair of channel locks on the inside to make sure this doesn't break free.
Nice.
Now what I did was I blobbed all this silicone on here and I started this in here, and then I backed it all the way out till this bottomed out on this side. So yeah, it's maybe kind of janky looking, but I think it'll work. And
Good idea.
And then this can be built out in here like it's crosses anyway. All right, so when you're doing all this, when you have put a mold in your pressure pot and you put 70 psi of pressure on it, I put resin in here. What's going to happen is the bottom of this thing is going to poof out some, and it's kind of scary. So, but so far I've never had one blow up.
Well, you got safety valves and stuff.
Well, now I got the safety valve thing going on.
Right.
Now I think these are earlier. This is an earlier version. I'm not sure whether it's steel or aluminum, but it's even heavier than this. But these two still share this this type of clamping when you put the lid down on it, and then it has a stop. Another thing you want to do is you want to, if you have it leaking slightly somewhere, you'll want to take it off, and it doesn't take much to make it leak. It could be a little piece of resin stuck in there, and you can pull it off there and then take some mold release and spray on this surface, and then it'll operate much easier. Another thing is if you take this gasket out and you happen to put it in the other way that it was, they seem to get a memory and it won't close.
Yeah.
So you have to take the gasket out and turn it back around. The gaskets come out pretty easily.
Probably
you
get
can
that
see.
new somewhere, maybe.
Yeah, you can get gaskets for them. I've got some ordered for this. This is a 4-quart. This 4-quart pot's pretty good for smaller molds. But when you're doing this, then the last inch is always kind of a, well, I guess that's not so bad. Sometimes when it's a new gasket, it's kind of hard to put the last little bit in.
Yeah.
But there's a nice little groove for it to fit in. And another thing, if you're going to do an open face mold, like a single part mold where it's open on top, see how I've got resin in here splashed all over the place? You want to take like I've used a plumbing plunger to cover a mold. Oh, sorry. And then when the air pressure comes on out of here, it won't splash resin all over the inside. What can happen, and it's happened to me, that resin is splashed all over this, up and all over this gasket, and I had a lot of trouble getting the thing open. So you want to, spray this with mold release, so in case silliness happens. I don't know. Is there anything else? Maybe.
Well, that's a good tutorial for those. And remember, be safe.
Yes.
Extremely safe, because these are dangerous.
Yes, pressure casting can be dangerous.
Yes, so take your time. And
you can use my video to make one.
With extreme safety, and it's what you do, it's yours.
Yep, that's right. Do not make me liable for
it's on you.
For your whatever you do or don't do correctly. Place to find these in the wild.
Yeah.
They're all over eBay too. You'll just have to do some adding and subtracting, and sometimes they have crazy shipping and they're real cheap, but sometimes.
Yeah, look around your local Goodwill or secondhand store. That's a good
Yeah.
idea.
But this is the one you want. This is a A604, I think. This is the 6 quart. Oh well.
Right on.
So there we go.
All right. Thanks, Greg. All right, Greg. Well, I appreciate you touring your shop and showing us the tutorial on the pots and how you pour resin and helping me pull off my van project. I hope you enjoyed following along. And as always, I'm the Autistic Modeler. Happy modeling.